Hello there, Tenno, and welcome to another Warframe Profile. This time, we'll be covering Mag and Mag Prime, two magnetic Warframes. Well, it's technically one with a special version, but nonetheless, I digress. So, what's the immediate major difference with Mag and Mag Prime? Well, as we can see, Mag Prime is just shinier. That's it? Yeah, most likely. Mag Prime has these beautiful golden coils throughout her arm. They're nice trimmings, very shiny, very vibrant, and they just make her stand out. I like the gold trimmings throughout her body. It really does glorify that prime sense, and the biggest and most noticeable difference, actually it's the smallest but most noticeable, is the helmet. Mag Prime's helmet is a lot more skull-like, which makes it stand out from the crowd a lot more, and a lot of people love that detail and the drastic change that the helmet has gone through. Personally, I prefer the standard Mag helmet, even on Prime. But that's about it for the cosmetics. There are no actual advantages besides the extra polarity between the Prime version, and Primes just look better. Well, there is that Death Orb thing, which regenerates your energy, but that's about it. So, magnetic. What do her powers imply? Well, gravitational pull, or magnetic pull, which is her first skill. Pull will pull in enemies within a cone damage in front of Mag, with a small radial around her, which is very hard to notice. But the cone damage, or the cone range, spectrum, area, things, it is very strong, it is very wide, and it's very far-reaching. Before, it used to be single cast on one target, now it's everything within your front radius. If you see it, you can pull it. This power is very strong, but it does fall off rather quickly. In later game, it becomes near useless unless you are using it for its utility, which will allow you to pull enemies and knock them down. You can pull them off the map, which causes them to pretty much instantly die. If not, you can knock them down with the pull coming towards you and all that, and you can open them up to finishers, which in some cases do a hell of a lot of damage. Aside from that, not real much else is available for pull. It will damage shielded units, as will all her powers throughout her arsenal, or throughout her skill range. Speaking of magnetic damage and her skill range, her second ability is Shield Polarize. Polarize shields, one way or the other. Polarization. Snap. Shield Polarize allows enemies in a certain vicinity of Mag to take immediate shield damage. The shields will immediately deplete and cause some direct damage according to how much has been depleted. This skill isn't very dependable, it does spike around a lot, and it is near useless, or it is practically useless against Grineer and Infested type units, due to them not having shields at all. The second ability for this same ability, the second attribute to this same ability, that's better, is it will replenish ally shields. Ally shields will regenerate according to how high her power strength is, and it is very useful in those lower level areas where your shields don't instantly just disappear. This is also very beneficial if you have multiple teammates who happen to be Mag, so you can just pull up her shields and regenerate them, or keep them up almost indefinitely. It again has some utility. It will fall off rather sharply, and it comes down to individual player basis and whether or not you have the power strength to support it. Her third ability is Bullet Attractor, which is kinda like Pull, but to a centered singular unit. What Bullet Attractor does, it will create a magnetic field around this enemy where any bullets that bypass or pass surrounding the orb, or within the orb surrounding the unit, will immediately get magnetized and pulled in to the epicenter, being the hostile unit. This is very useful for when you're taking out big units that are hiding behind smaller units and you manage to get Bullet Attractor on them, and you do a lot of powerful damage to them and only them. When the targeted enemy dies and Bullet Attractor is still enabled, it'll turn a nice orangish red tint and cause a nice little explosion that does blast damage to all surrounding enemies within that singular orb. This is extremely useful when you're trying to fight some bosses, for example the boss that Mag herself drops from, which is Nef Anyo, and he tends to go invisible. Even if he's invisible, the skill still is enabled and you can shoot him and do damage to him regardless of invisibility or visibility. In the end, you can kill him, be it invisible or visible, just with this skill alone. It is very useful with multiple different bosses. Not all bosses will be done like this due to their individual weak points that are being introduced in their remakes, and it's a very fun skill to play with and mess around with. It's a irreplaceable skill for certain unit types that you just want to single out. Aside from that, Mag's ultimate, or her fourth ability, which people refer to as ultimates, is Magnetic Crush. You pick up all enemies within a certain radius of Mag, lifting them up into the air, just like Valbound's Bastille, but you will crush them and magnetize their bones and shrink them to small little square itty-bitty bits, doing massive amounts of physical and magnetic damage. This ability is very interesting because it will let you breathe, but like I said before, Mag does not scale high enough within certain parties, and this skill quickly falls off. It still has a great utility for giving momentary breaths of air to the teammates to get their bearings and control the enemies, or crowd control the enemies for just a small moment. Breathe! That pretty much does it for all her abilities. Mag is a very interesting Warframe. She's adorable in her own little way. Their magnetic abilities are very unique, and they're pretty much very fun to play with and mess around with. But her scaling is not very steep, it's not very strong. Maybe I'm just using her wrong. I've seen some mags that are practically very strong. I can't even make words today. But it comes down to a per player basis. As you can see, these are her abilities, these are her stats. All of them are benefited by range and duration mods. Some of them have very good augments from strength, but practically all of them benefit from duration and range. That pretty much does it for Mag Prime. If you guys want a little bit more interesting details about her and who she is, feel free to go look at Mag Prime's lore in the codec entry, because there are certain words in there which refer to wings, which were also revealed to be the Arc Wing when Arc Wings were first released. So, let's see what DE had to say about the Arc Wings before the Arc Wings were even announced. So, have fun. It's a good read. It's a very interesting read. Sounds very familiar, but then most space games do sound familiar, or science fiction games. So, that's about it. So, feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below. I'm repeating myself, I don't know why. Tell me what other Warframe you would like to see. I might do another Prime Warframe combo side by side again. Still debating who after Mag. Most likely Ember. Might do Ember. I love Ember. And that's about it. So, take it easy guys, have fun, and see you guys in game.